What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Last episode we talked about anxiety that I've been having recently, just like in general. And actually, that video helped a lot. I've been feeling less anxious about recording these, which is good. And I actually wanted to kind of piggyback off of that last video, talk about something else similar in this video. The same guy that I was talking to about my anxiety and stuff, he came up to me yesterday, and he was like, "Dude, how are you feeling? Like, are you still having all this anxiety and stuff?" And I was like, "No, like, yeah, I still have anxiety, but like, I'm doing okay." And he was like, "Oh, that's good, because I was thinking about it, and I think the reason you've been having all these problems is because you have fallen away from God." And it immediately turned into another religious conversation. But I was like, alright, like, I'll hear him out. What does he have to say? And basically his whole thing was how I wouldn't be feeling the way that I'm feeling if I just turned to God. And he gave me 2 Bible verses to go off of that in regards to being away from God. So the first one is 1 John 1:8. Let me pull that up real quick. Damn, it is way back here. What is it? 429? 429. We're almost there. 429. Okay. If we say we have no sin, we deceive ourselves, and the truth is not in us. If we confess our sins, he is faithful, and just to forgive us our sins, and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. If we say we have not sinned, we make him a liar, and his word is not in us. And then the other verse that he gave me was Psalm 51:1 and 10. It's on page 509. Let me turn to that one real quick. In the scripture, this Bible is not surviving Korea very well. It is struggling. Okay, what was it? 509? 151, 1, and 10. Have mercy on me, O God, according to your steadfast love, according to your abundant mercy, blot out my transgressions. And create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. So, reading these passages, right? I read them before recording this video. My interpretation of this, right, was basically don't deny God, because if you do, he's not going to help you out with stuff, right? But if you accept that you're a sinner and whatever, you're basically not calling him a liar, and therefore he will make your spirit right. And so if your spirit isn't right, it's because you have turned away from God. Is essentially what I understand from these verses. And so when this guy and I were talking about this, I was like, okay, so I'm having anxiety because I don't believe in God, is what you're essentially saying. And he was like, yeah, something like that. Like if you just believe and just accepted religion, accepted Christianity, and accepted God, you would be better off. You'd be feeling a lot better about stuff. And the reason you're feeling the way that you do is because you're not turning to God. And that's whatever. Like, I wasn't like offended by that or whatever, but it did get me to think. It did get me to think, right? Is it not a two-way street in regards to other things, right? In my head, right? I'm trying to think of a better way to explain this. In my head, right? If I've turned away from God because he didn't help me with something that I wanted him to help me with, right? I turned away from God. We'll use my anxiety. We'll use an actual anecdotal thing for this. If I am feeling anxious, right, and I pray to God, and I'm like, God, please, please help me not feel so anxious. And then I'm still feeling anxious, right? I put all my trust in God to cure my anxiety. And I'm still anxious. Is it wrong of me to turn to something else to try and help cure that anxiety? But by doing that, according to this guy I was talking to, by doing that, that is me turning away from God and not trusting my prayer to God. So therefore, God's not going to help me because I went and sought out another way to help with my anxiety. So because God doesn't want to help me because I went somewhere else to fix my anxiety, it's not going to work because he's not helping me. So therefore, from my perspective, God's not helping me. So why would I go back to God to help fix fix my anxiety, right? And it just starts this vicious cycle of God not wanting to help me because I didn't go to him, and me not going to God because he didn't help me. And then it got me thinking even more, and it started this like whole debate, right? Because of this cycle that excuse me. Because of this cycle that that we were discussing. And the more I think about it, the more I feel like it isn't necessarily that I have turned away from God, or on the bigger picture here of what we were debating. Not that the world has turned away from God, that God has turned away from the world and from people, right? And the guy I was talking to was like, no, God would never do that. He created us. Why would he abandon his creation, right? As a content creator, all right, this is gonna piss people off. I'm gonna put myself in God's shoes, right? As a content creator. God, I sound so out of touch. As a content creator, right? Just bear with me. As a content creator, right? I create things. Just like God created us, okay? It sounds so out of touch, but it makes sense. It makes sense, I promise. I create things as a content creator, similar to the way that God created humans, right? Of all the things I create, there are many projects that I start, that I almost complete, that I don't finish, or that are finished, and when I get to the final product, I'm like, yeah, no, this isn't good. This is bad. I've made it this far, and like I'll come back to it. Maybe it'll be good later on. I'll come back to it, but as of right now, we're just gonna put this in a fucking folder in a hard drive and forget about it. What is stopping God from doing that to us? Who is to say that God didn't create us, right? Thinking, man, I'm gonna create this whole world with all these creatures and all these things on it, and it's gonna be great. And then humans, because God gave us free will, humans have done so much fuck shit that he looks at us as his project, and he's like, yeah, this wasn't a good idea. I've already made it this far, so like, I'll just leave it how it is, but like, I'm done working on this right now. And then he goes and works on something else, right? If I can create something and push it away because I don't think it's good enough, or I don't, for whatever reason, you can insert whatever reason you want. There's all sorts of reasons why people abandon projects, right? Who is to say that God didn't do the same thing to us? And I have evidence of this. You don't even need to hear it from me. If you just fucking look around in current world events and read the Bible, there are parallels to that confirm this theory, okay? I don't know if confirm, there's not really like, confirm is not the right word to use, because people are going to be like, you can't actually prove it, man. Like, so we're just not going to use the word confirm, and we'll say like, support the theory. I feel like that might be a better use of the word. Reading the Bible, right? I've been reading the Bible for like the past year and a half. I've been reading it for like the past year. There are several stories where God intervenes in the human world. Usually not directly. Usually he sends, I guess he sent Jesus as one way to intervene, and he sends angels. He does all kinds of shit to intervene with shit that is going on in the human world, right? If we take what the Bible is saying as fact, as truth, that these events actually happened, where are these where are these interventions in modern times, in modern day human world? Like, what's the one where they're all fucking each other and they're all prostitutes or whatever, and he turns them all into salt? Well, he tells an angel to turn them all into salt. Something like that. I haven't even read that part. I've only been reading the New Testament, but I know there is a story where God sends this angel to come fucking talk to this family, and they're like, you guys need to leave this town. I'm about to turn everybody into salt. And don't look at me either, otherwise I'm gonna also turn you into salt. But I'm warning you guys because you guys haven't been prostitutes or whatever. And then like they give them like a week or whatever to like fix the town, and of course nobody wants to stop fucking, so the angel comes again and is like, alright, you guys like leave tonight. By the time the sun comes up, this town isn't gonna exist anymore. I'm gonna wipe it off the map. And then they like flee, and the wife or something like looks back and ends up being turned into salt because she disobeyed the angel or something like that. I don't know the exact story, okay? I haven't read that part of the Bible, but I know that it is in there. I know for a fact that that is a story in the Bible at some point. My point is, where is that divine intervention in today's world? We have all this awful shit going on. We've had all this awful shit going on like the past 20 years, right? Terrible shit. Just in the past year, it's been the Epstein files that talks about her like doing awful things to children. I'm not going to get into it in this. We can do a whole video on the Epstein files, but awful things to children. You have the gluttony and greed of the 1%, basically taking everything from everybody because it's just not enough. That's a sin. That's one of the deadly sins. You have the AI images that our president is putting up depicting him as Jesus, that's a sin. I know that's a sin for a fact. There's all these things, right? And arguably, all of these modern things are way worse than some rinky-dink town in the middle of nowhere with a bunch of prostitutes in it, right? All of these things are way worse, way worse than just a bunch of prostitutes living in a town. And yet, we have yet to see divine intervention at all.
The safe zone is collapsing.
And I can't think of any major scale thing that can be explained as like divine intervention. People would argue, this guy I was talking to argued that like miracles are the result of God intervening, which fair enough. I've lived through my fair share of miracles. I got into a really bad rollover car accident my junior year of high school. Turned my soccer mom mobile into a literal sedan. Like the roof was caved in. It went from having the sliding doors. The sliding doors looked like a 4-door car. Like the whole rectangular minivan was turned into a companion cube. Okay. And I relatively walked away from that unscathed. I think I had some glass in my ears. I like pulled some ligaments in my shoulder, and I had like a black eye. And I had to wear like a sling for my arm. But like no cuts, didn't get like what's the word? Skewered, not skewered, impaled. Like, I would consider that to be a miracle. And I can't explain, how I survived that, because when I went to the hospital for like a follow-up and they wanted to see pictures of it, the doctor literally said that I should not be sitting in that room with him right now, and I should be on a table in the morgue. Okay? I do believe in miracles. Don't necessarily know if they're divine intervention. I do believe in miracles, though. Which is like, fair enough, dude. But my car accident, if my car accident was caused or saved by divine intervention, right? Why is there no divine intervention for these terrible things that are going on in the world right now? There's nothing. There's nothing. And if God sent an angel to wipe an entire town off of the map, cease to exist, why would he not intervene with people literally murdering and raping children? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to me. And I don't have like an answer for it. Actually I do. My answer for it is that there isn't a God. Like, religion's not real, right? It's all just a fictional story. Whatever. That's why I've been reading it, to try and like learn a little bit more, see if can be persuaded the other way. But as of right now, my stance is that it's all just a fictional story, like an epic poem, kind of like the Odyssey, right? So like, of course, there wouldn't be any divine intervention because it doesn't exist. Which I also don't necessarily believe that either, because I just stated earlier that I do believe in miracles. I do believe miracles are a form of intervention. But on the flip side of that, if religion is real, if it is real, and there is divine intervention, there is God, like the Bible is truth, why is God not doing anything to stop these terrible things? He had no problem.
Only 2 players left.
What was it, 2,000 years ago? He had no problem wiping an entire city off of the map, telling one of his angels to wipe an entire city off of the map. He draws the line at the Epstein files. Like, he's like, oh, you know what? I'm not going to intervene with the Epstein files. Like, that's really none of my business. There's no reason for him not to. There's absolutely no reason for him not to. That's my stance on it. I believe that God has abandoned us, that we have not abandoned God. And I'll see you guys all in the next video.